Business Fixer. So, question I have for you, are you considering closing or selling your business? Now, you might be asking, well, Sarah, why would you be asking that? And the reason why I am asking that is because running a service-based business has never been easy, but in 2025, it feels like it's harder than ever. With external pressures that are mounting at an alarming rate, many business owners are really feeling the strain, questioning whether they should keep going or if it's time to walk away. And this is something that even in the last few years where I've been doing business coaching, there has definitely been a significant increase where business owners are really, really feeling it. Now, a big part of what I do when I am coaching clients is I do reignite that passion that actually got you started in the first place. It's also about helping you come back into alignment with the vision that you originally had for your business. But sometimes you do reach a point where it doesn't matter how much you do those things, that in reality, you're just not sure. Okay. So at the moment, we're dealing with massive rising costs, regulatory burdens, and a real shift in an economic landscape. And it's just can feel like that you're literally fighting a losing battle. Now, I can safely say that if you are at that crossroads, you are not alone. But how do you push through those challenges and keep your business growing? Or is it time to actually start exploring your exit strategy? Now, I can safely say that the challenges right now are literally undeniable. The biggest one that I would say that I think is really prevalent for business owners is where the budget has introduced increases in national insurance contributions. Now, this is going to be kicking in as of April. And I know even hearing, for example, from charities that have been impacted by this, that actually, it means that they really have to tighten their belts or potentially lose really crucial fundraising staff. How does that make it right? It doesn't. Now, it means that businesses are now finding it's more expensive to hire and retain employees. So they're trying to find alternative ways in which they can have staff, but without being in a situation where they are hardest hit with these national insurance contributions. You've also got rising energy costs remain a burden despite the apparent government interventions. It just means that businesses are having to absorb higher and higher overheads. You've got many commercial landlords who are also raising rents, and I know that there are some changes coming in relation to business rates, which will also impact some businesses. These costs are literally leaving tenants with tougher decisions, paying higher fees and having to potentially downsize or relocate. I know of one business who have actually made the decision to work from home because they can't afford to maintain the offices anymore. This shouldn't be how business is. You've got inflation that's continuing to impact both business and consumer confidence, reducing the demand for services, while simultaneously it's increasing operational costs. And for service-based businesses, particularly those dependent on repeat clients, the squeeze on their disposable income means fewer bookings and shrinking revenues. You then compound these financial pressures is the persistent issue of late payments. Many businesses operating on thin margins, and when clients delay payments, it creates a massive knock-on effect, making it harder to manage your cash flow, pay your staff, and cover essential expenses. Effectively, you've got increased tax and compliance burdens only add to the weight, forcing business owners to spend more time on navigating the regulations and navigating the issues with cash flow instead of focusing on growth. At the same time, we've got this war for talent. Employees are demanding higher salaries, greater flexibility, and improved benefits, making it difficult for smaller businesses to compete with larger firms offering more attractive packages. Now, ultimately, we need the staff to be able to grow. But if we can't actually be able to match those big offers that are being made by the larger firms, it's just making it harder and harder. And for us, for many of us, these mounting pressures may be the final straw. And if your business is no longer sustainable or fulfilling, that idea of selling up or shutting down may be on your mind. But despite me actually showing you a very bleak picture, I want you to think about these things in terms of your decision, as this may actually explore whether there is another way forward where you can still keep that business, that baby that you have been creating and building for so long, right? Now, ultimately, with any business challenges, resilience and adaptability are key, okay? So whilst costs are rising, you need to make sure that you are taking a critical look at your expenditure and identifying areas where savings could be made that could ease that burden. Now, remember the one rule: do not cut your marketing budget. How many times do I hear businesses that cut their marketing budget completely even? Your marketing is what's going to help you grow. Now, fair enough if you have a potential marketing avenue that you have been testing over at least a 3 to 6 month period and it's not working, then you can potentially deviate. But you do not cut your marketing budget altogether. Now, it could be the fact that you're considering adjusting your expenditure by reducing your office space. It could be the fact that you even have to consider reducing the amount of staff. Now, none of these things are easy decisions, but sometimes what you have to do is make those hard decisions so that you can come out the other side of it. So even potentially rethinking some pricing strategies may also be necessary. Now, I know many business owners hesitate to increase prices, fearing that you may lose customers, but failing to charge appropriately is going to be far more damaging for you in the long run. Ultimately, everybody has got higher expenses. So it's got to be the fact that you have to increase your fees to be able to cope with those higher expenses. Okay? Even potentially renegotiating contracts with your suppliers and tightening up any payment terms can all help you provide a bit more financial stability. Another thing to consider is technology and automation. This can offer another path to improving the efficiency and reducing your overheads. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't have people in a business, because I am a firm believer that business is relationships. However, there are so many systems and tools out there now that really can make life so much easier for you and so much more efficient. So things like investing in digital solutions can free up valuable time, streamline those operations, and ensure a more consistent service offering. I think it's so important that businesses take the time to reassess their model and adapt to market shifts. That way, then, it actually puts you in a stronger position to withstand economic pressures. So, for example, it may be the fact that retainers and fixed fees might be a more appropriate way rather than billing by the hour. There might just be certain ways in which you can adjust and actually work with what's happening in the current markets. Strengthening those client relationships and focusing on retention. Now, this is something that it really shocks me actually sometimes how much particularly the bigger organizations don't seem to care about retention. Now, you'll often hear me talking about Xero in terms of it's a great product. I genuinely am an advocate for it for your financial resources. But something that I've commented on recently that's really, really frustrated me is Xero do these absolutely amazing deals for new clients. Like, I do 90% discounts for 6 months. How about rewarding your existing client base? You don't necessarily need to offer such such crazy deals for your existing customers, because actually by you can use some of that cash that you're you're investing in your new clients, and help your existing ones. I'm a big believer in being able to offer things like loyalty rewards, or some kind of scheme that really helps actually encourage your existing clients to recommend to other people. There are so many ways in which you can really help maintain and keep those loyal clients, because ultimately your loyal clients are invaluable, and ultimately it's also so much more cost effective to retain your existing clients than constantly going after new ones. So provide additional value, offer flexible payment options, or simply ensuring an exceptional service can make all the difference. Despite the strategies, the reality is not everybody will or wants to be able to continue operating under these conditions. And if you are at a point where the stress is genuinely outweighing the rewards, it may be time to consider an exit strategy. And there are a number of options out there. So if your business is still profitable and viable, then potentially selling your business could provide you with this financial security and the opportunity to move on to something new, whether that's another business venture or something that's a complete career change. What's most important is ensuring whatever path you choose, it's an informed and strategic decision rather than a remote emotional reaction to temporary pressures, because these things that are going on right now are not going to be forever, right? So ultimately, survival in 2025 is about clarity, confidence, and making the right choices. And whether you decide to fight for your business or you're considering moving on, ensure that your next step is the best one for you. Now, in terms of actually being able to navigate these challenges, it may be the fact that you just need a conversation with somebody who genuinely understands the pressures that business owners are under and can give you a number of options. And that is me. Now, not only can I help you potentially if you decide that you do want to keep your business and you want some fresh eyes on it, you want somebody who can really see where its strengths and weaknesses are and build a roadmap that is going to create growth and actually reignite that passion back in you, and actually also help you remember that vision. I can help you with that. But if you are honestly at a point where enough is enough, I can also help you with that. So the key thing is having a conversation with me. So if you are at this point where external pressures or even internal pressures are really making you question, now is the time to have a conversation. And if this is something that you are interested in, I appreciate you may not want to comment on the live. If you do feel comfortable, then please just put the word conversation. If you don't feel comfortable, then please send me a direct message. I'm more than happy to have a conversation, no obligation, completely free of charge conversation, and let's thrash out your options. But this is a time of reflection, a time for clarity, and it is a time to actually move forward in whatever way that may be. I hope you found some benefit from today. It isn't all doom and gloom. There is options out there. Just make sure you have that conversation. Thanks, guys, for listening, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Take care.